Welcome back to Beauty and the Broken. My name is Heather, and the purpose of this channel is to seek and create beauty, sometimes out of a mess. So here we go. Let me just get my gloves on, and as you would have it, I get the resin mixed up. I do that off camera, so you don't have to see me stirring for 3 to 5 minutes. And as I'm stirring the resin, my neighbor decides to come out and mow his lawn. So, I think that's just the reality of, being making YouTube videos out in the open, because you want to try and get good ventilation, and it just is what it is, right? Okay, because resin doesn't wait. It doesn't wait a long time anyway. So what am I doing today? I'm doing something quick and easy for this first part, and I'm not going to tell you what the second part is until we bring that out. But I am going to use this mold here, and this is part of the, I don't know if it's Stamperia or Stamperia line for the Vagabond series, and I honestly don't remember whether it was Lady Vagabond or Sir Vagabond that this mold came from. Now, these molds were not specifically designed for resin, but can be used for resin. They are not the shiny molds, so you don't expect to see a shiny surface when doing these. But I've had success in using these molds, so I wanted to try it again. So today I'm going to do this one, and this one. And I'm going to use it for another project, which you'll see in part 2 of this video. But the other problem with this is the fact that since they weren't designed necessarily specifically for resin, they have varying levels on the back. So I don't know if you can, how well you can see, but like this one is higher, raised higher than this one. So that impacts how level it is. So I'm going to put this down. This does seem a little higher. So on camera, what I'm going to do is I'm probably not going to fill it to doming, because I am going to move it. It is incredibly hot where I am right now, and so I want to get it into more of a temperature controlled environment after all of this. So that's why I'm just going to be able to move it like this. All right, so the plan for today is I used this gilded gold in another video and compared it to regular mica powder. And the funny thing is, on the YouTube platform, I got a comment saying that they couldn't tell the difference. But on a different platform, I got a comment saying that the difference was, not remarkable, but very obvious. So I guess it depends on monitors and cameras and platforms. My son said it had to do with like the compression of the platform on the videos. So, I guess it just goes to show that sometimes things aren't always what they seem. But, so what I wanted to do today is, instead of painting it on the surface, I'm going to mix this in to the resin directly and see if we get a different result. So that is the game plan. So I'm going to start there. And so there's that beautiful shine. And I'm just going to grab, I don't have one of my spoons, my little scooper spoons. So I'm just going to take oh, that lawnmower stopped. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think, 2 scoops. And mix that in and see what it looks like. Wow, that really looks molten on the top. Can you see how that looks super cool. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, and I did mention in the last resin, specific resin video that I did, that I had finally finished off that one brand of resin, and that I would try a new one. So when I'm done with this, I will get that. I have used this resin to make some things off camera, and I really, really like it. I like how easy it is to mix, and how easy it is, and how glassy it looks, and everything. So I'm really, really pleased with this resin. Now this is looks a little streaky in there. So let's see how that actually turns out once the resin cures. And again, out in nature, guys, out in nature, we have the, you know, the beasts known as cars and trucks driving by. So, but we have ventilation. That's what's important. So, anyway, but that looks, I think that is so pretty. Okay, so 2 scoops I think is more than enough. So I'm going to just tap that off and move this out of the way, making sure I put the lid on so we don't have any golden accidents. The other thing now, what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to do these gold, I thought I would do the keyholes in black. So I'm not going to dump any of that out. That's just my black mica powder that I've used in multiple videos. So I'm just going to try not to get it in the rest of the mold. So let's tap that off again. And this is the small, let me see, did I put it back in frame? Okay, good. This is the smallest one. And I'm just, of course I'm getting it everywhere but the keyhole. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I wonder if I hold it up. You know, I think, yeah, that is, I wonder, you know, I could use, I have a skewer. Yeah, all right. Plan B. Plan B, we're gonna go, I'm just gonna move that out of the way. And I'm gonna grab my silver and see if that works a little bit better. I think this, oh my goodness, I think that's not silver, that's white. You know, we're gonna go with it because it will stand out. All right, so make sure I've gotten most of the black off. There we go. See if this works any better. I think this is probably a Tim Holtz Ranger brand. I don't know, I'll have to go look it up. Okay, that is laying better. I just want it to stand out from the gold. Now there's gonna, yeah, this is not gonna be perfect, y'all. But then again, nothing ever is, right? So, but this is definitely laying much better than that black was. Okay, let's see, I don't know if that means that it's not covered or because I'm just seeing some dimension there. I think I just wiped it off that first one. And let's go to the third one. Looks like I missed right here. And I'm just taking it off camera and getting rid of the excess. Okay, so we have 3. Let's put this down. Tap this off in here. And again, no accidents, so I'm just putting the lid on over here. Okay, so this one I'm a little worried about. Not worried per se, but there is a little bit of the mica powder in the, you know, outside of it. But I think it's just gonna give us a sheen. So gonna mix this up one more time. It is starting to get a little warm. Like I said, it's very hot out here, and I do have it about 2 ounces deep, so that will make it cure faster. So let's commence with pouring. I'm so excited to see how this comes out, because it should look different than when it was painted on. And I'm going to start over here, because this is the one that I think is the least flat. Just going to let it pour in there. It really does look molten, doesn't it? Let's let that move around as I go over to the second one. That one is going to cover the keyhole. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, but that is okay because the mica powder touched is on the outside. Let that move around and come over to the third one. This is the least level of the 3. So as you can see, it is moving over to the right a lot more quickly than the left. Let's see if there we go. And that's just what I'm gonna have to do. When I move it indoors, I'm just gonna have to weight that down a little bit. I actually really like the lines that I'm seeing. I think it is gonna make it look more antique-y. Is that a word? Antique-y? Let's see. We need a little more up here. And like I said, I'm not going to dome these here because I am going to carry them inside. That center one looks pretty full anyway, as does the one on the left. So I think we are done with this step. And so I'm going to say, see you in a minute. Hey everyone, I wanted to pop in with a quick demold video here, or demold segment before I do the final step. I still have some prep I need to do, but these are ready to go. And so I thought I would demold them for you and with you. Okay, so I don't know, let me lift it up and see if you can see. This one looks a little different, and let me explain why. When I added the gold resin to this, it didn't cover the keyhole. And I realized that would be a problem on demold, because then there would be a hole without that whitish silver, the pearl appearance that we did in the other 2. So what I did was I reapplied the powder, and then I used UV resin over top. So this now has a flat layer of UV resin on it. So that one might look a little different, but let's start with these 2. Okay. So here is the first one, and I'm just gonna pop them all out, and then we can look at them together when I flip them over. All right, move that out of the way. Move the sticks out of the way. I had to use those to level it, because like I said, remember, they're not all the same heights and things. So, all right, so let's start with this one. And I do love, this is not gonna show on the final project, but I love it makes it look older. You know, I don't know why it does that. Maybe it doesn't mix in properly or completely or whatever, but either way, it looks cool. All right, so there is the first one, and you can see the silvery pearl keyhole, portal, whatever you want to call it. And I actually love the fact that it is not a shiny mold, because it makes it look a little bit more antique. It gives an older look to it. So that is super cool. Now let's look at this one. similar style. Looks like there might be a little overflow in here. Might be able to just put a tool in there and get rid of some of that. But it is smooth around the edges. There is, as I predicted, there was a little overspray, but I don't think it harms it at all. There is a little bit more of a gold. I don't know if you can see that gold toward the top a little bit. It does seem to be coming through, but it doesn't bother me at all. I think it looks so cool. And now for the last one, I don't think it's not going to affect the regular like the frame side, but let's see if it looks different in the keyhole. You know, it looks brighter. I think the keyhole on this one, well, it's also, you know what? It is more transparent. I can see my finger underneath. Let's see. Don't know if you guys, so you can see, yeah, you can see how it gets darker as I move the green of the stick up and down. So that is that. That has a little extra, the UV, I think, overflowed. So, but there you have it. You know what, maybe if I just bring all of these up closer so we can see each one. But they look super cool. And I can't wait to show you what is next. So for you, it'll be a second. For me, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I will be back with another step. Bye. Hi, everyone. Okay, as I mentioned this in a previous video, that you would see this again. And I mentioned that I had other plans for these. So here we go, marrying those two. Now, what have I done already? Well, I've actually damaged the piece. So, you know, it wouldn't be a Heather video if there wasn't some sort of calamity or issue. And that's why we laugh. We find beauty in the broken, right? Okay, so when I was setting up my camera, I did that. I dropped the camera into the foam, and that is also a problem with foam, is it's softer, so it's going to damage more easily. So, but that being said, we are going to press forward. And so when I did the beauty reveal for the painting, I thought this looked like a face, and I really kind of like I really kind of like it, so I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to cover it up. So this was originally going to be up here until I dropped my camera into it. So now it's going to be here. And what I did was I used my tape measure, and I measured from the edge to 1 inch, and the edge of the keyhole to the edge is 1 inch. And then I measured over here, just easier. Let's go from the 3 to the 2. That is also 1 inch, so that they are equidistant from the edge of the round. And then what I did was I put it underneath, put the tape measure underneath, so that, and obviously I moved them. Okay, so if it's directly underneath the holes there and directly underneath the holes there, then it's straight. And then it is still, if we go 10.5 inches to 11.5 inches, it does need to come over just a hair. And it's probably going to get messed up again when I pick them up to put the glue on, but that is pretty close. And then with this one down here, that is from 0, that's a little more than 10, but if I go down 0 to where it is actually 10 inches, okay, 0 to 10, that keyhole should be right at 5, and that has moved as well. So there we go. All right, so now they are relatively even. Now what I'm going to do is take my E6000 and I'm going to apply it to the back. Now, I went online, as many of us do, and I said, does E6000 work on foam? And I found two reputable sources. One said yes, one said no. So in the spirit of Beauty in the Broken, we are going to try, and it's going to be an experiment to see if it really does work. Now, I guess it's not a true experiment because I have put 2 coats of black acrylic paint and then the paint pour, and then 2 coats of the Minwax polyacrylic over top. So the E6000 is not going to directly touch the foam because there's 5 coats of something else underneath or in between the two. But I'm going to give it a try. And all right. So I'm also going to take this well-used, what is it called? Popsicle stick? Pop stick? I'm going to use that to spread the E6000. And that way, when I'm done, if I don't get it all cleaned off, I can just toss it because it is well used. So I'm going to take a drop there. I'm going to put this over on my paper towel because it is going to leak. And then, see, there it is again. So now I'm going to take this and just spread it on my piece. And I'm going to get another drop. Now, E6000 is very strong, and some people don't like the odor. I am in a well-ventilated space, so keep that in mind if you're going to use this type of adhesive. And I think I'm going to just try it at that because I don't want any oozing out of the sides. All right, put that down on my paper towel. So once again, I did not put it all the way down on the I'm just going to gently drop it there and see where I am. Use the other one. Okay, I'm still about 1 inch, and I'm still in line with that. So now I'm going to gently push that down. Get all 4 sides. It is sliding a little bit, but I'm okay with that. All right, now let's pick up let's get some more of this and put it on the back of this one. Oh, I did get my thumb. Okay, now this one, the resin is not in those screw holes, nail holes, so I'm not going over that. But again, not totally near the edge because I do not want anything squeezing out. And this one could go either direction, it appears. So let's just go with that. And I keep putting the other end down. I don't want it getting into the drips there. So let's just put this down here. Let's go over to the 12. So I know I want it to go approximately there. Okay, now double checking. I could go in just a little bit. Is it in line? Are the screw holes in line? Yep. All right. That looks good. So now press it down. And now for the big one down here at the bottom. Okay. I always say don't waste the drips, so I'm going to pick that up and pull the drips off the paper towel and put them on here. And there are several areas of this one that have no resin, so I don't want the I don't want the glue, the E6000 here, going into those empty spaces. So I'm going to work around that, around those. Just get it all. I want to get contact at least on all of the outside, not all the way to the edge, but all of the. Let's just grab a little bit more because there's no. Did we get any over here? No. Okay. All right, now put that gently there, and then get my glue out of the way so I don't put the tape in it. Find where it is. Look at that, y'all. That's pretty good. That 5 is right in the center. Of course, you know, when oh, that's so weird. When I'm looking at it through the camera, it looks angled. But when I'm looking at it straight, maybe my camera's angled. Because when I'm looking at it IRL here, it's perfectly straight, but on your angle it does look angled. That's weird. Okay, my camera's obviously not straight. Okay, but that is good. Put the cap on the glue before it drips all over the place. Okay, that is secure now. Wipe all the glue off of here. Oh, I never pressed this one down. Okay, now E6000 sets up in 10 minutes and then fully dries in 24 hours. Obviously, I'm not going to make you sit here for 10 minutes or 24 hours. So I am going to call this done, call it good. And, you know, I think maybe it could have used one up here, but I still kind of like it. I like the fact that this face thing is here. I think it adds to the portal look theme of it all. So let me so I can go like this so you can see they are not falling down. And there you have it. There is a 12-inch foam round with acrylic paint pouring, Minwax polyacrylic, resin portals, glitter, UV resin. Can we throw anything else besides the kitchen sink at this one? Don't know, y'all. But there are elements of beauty in it, and that's what I like. So I remind you to seek beauty. It's always there if you look for it. Bye.